So here's the preview for this evening. We're going to go ahead and roll through one breeder at a time. We're going to roll through in lot order minus, I think, our leadoffs are maybe in a pen or two back, so we'll make sure we point those out, those first three, because as you can see on your sheet in front of you, and those of you guys watching on Facebook, if we're ready to roll, Taylor? We're live? Okay, fantastic. Those of you watching along on Facebook and on Taylor Ford Streaming, that the order is posted, and we're going to roll in order relative to tomorrow. It's going to go in lot order, and they are tagged that way so that everybody's clear. That obviously tonight we're going to run through one breeder at a time. We're going to kind of run out one pen at a time. There's going to be 2-3 pigs in a pen. We'll point them out. We're going to be pretty brief, but we want to make sure everybody has time to look at them, and then if after we're done, you guys can go in the back and look at them a little closer. We have lots of help this evening. We have Landon and Luke Charles and Cadence Funk out in the ring. They're going to help kind of lead those pigs around. They're going to try to grab them in tag order. And we'll get a good shot over there with Taylor on the camera. And Taylor Ford, are you ready to roll? Things are good here. Okay, we're ready to get started. We're going to go ahead and drop in the first pen of ours, which is lots 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. These are 3 barrows, 3 males. The first one, tag number 4. And Landon kind of has that one toward the end of his stick right there. That's the chromed up one. Tag number 4, that's an and then some, which is a tricked out son there at Beeman's. He originally came from Dietering, and his mom would be a litter mate to Chubbs, the grand champion barrow there at Indiana State Fair a couple years ago. Really like her and then somes. Easy there over there. And the sow would be a first-time gilt, Steel Town Reflection, so kind of a line-bred hillbilly bone. If you guys can kind of get them out there, maybe a couple kids back. We'll just have one of you out there at a time. That way we can see with the camera. How are we doing over there, Taylor? Good on the camera? Okay. So lot number 4 is at the end of the whip there, or end of the flag that Landon has. We'll try to just kind of move them around. They may or may not follow. It may help to just drive them. There you go. I think it helps to just drive them. That's lot number 4. Lot number 5 is 31-5, or excuse me, 31-3. That's a Believe in Me. That's the one that Landon's going to grab now. 31-3, lot number 5. That is out of a Gangster Dirty Deal. So actually the grandmother would be the $46,000 sow we bought from Heimer a couple summers ago. This is a first-time gilt that we're really excited about, those gangsters and how they're going to farrow. That is a Believe in Me on the sire side on lot number 5. And then lot number 6 is the one Cadence. You can go ahead and grab that one there, the 26 litter. How we doing over there, Taylor? Working on it. We'll do a quick. We'll get the video back up here in a minute. So as Cadence kind of drives the 26 litter, lot number 6 out, that's a Believe in Me. Mom would be a Breaking Rules Secret Weapon. Actually, the grandmother, the Secret Weapon sow, was one that Hinton Livestock and we purchased together from Heimer Hampshires a couple years ago. Really like how this one's bred relative to Believe in Me on the top side and that Breaking Rules on the bottom side. Very neat trio of males that are going to be our leadoffs in this particular sale. As far as the males are concerned, really excited about the potential those 3 had. So again, out in the ring we have lot 4, which is the and then some. Lot number 5 is the Believe in Me Gangster, and then lot number 6 is Believe in Me Breaking Rules. And we're working on our gimbal camera over there to make sure that gets rolling. Good job, guys. You're going to have them all whip, broke, and drove ready by the end of the evening. That's perfect. So again, Landon's on lot number 4. Cadence, which one do you have? Lot number 6. Luke Charles, who do you have? Lot number 5 then? We're going to have a showmanship contest here at the end. All right, I think we're back ready to roll. So we'll kick those out and we'll move on to our next pin. All right, well, next group coming in here are lots 12, 13, and 14. So Landon, you're gonna grab 12, or who do you have? Yep, lot number 12. Landon has 12. That is 28-2. That's a Play It Cool Goosebumps, and actually the mom of that one would have raised the grand overall at Logan County last year, the reserve grand overall at Wyoming State Fair the year before that. Has been a very, very good sow for us that we're really impressed with, that continues to do a good job. This is actually still an intact male. He is a boar pig, but I think obviously he can be a very, very good show barrow. That is a stout featured one. Play It Cool is a boar at Knauth, and we're really happy with what that boar has done relative to just feature, bone, and stoutness, and absolute look. But a really neat black boar pig right there in lot number 12. Cadence is going to have lot number 13. That's the blue backed barrel right there with the blue spot on his back, and that is 30-2. That is a Hero Kingpin. That's a first-time litter guild, and we used Hero really heavily a couple summers ago to really lay in a bunch of females. This one, the mom of this one, her litter mate would have been shown by the Fort family in Texas, would have won her class at the San Antonio Livestock Show, and this is one of the litter mates we kept. Just a very neat female there on the bottom side, Hero Kingpin, and goes back to the verbatim Roxy sow, and then that sire is Icon, which is a next intention son at Hofschulte's. And then Luke, he's going to have 30-1. That's the other litter mate, the other blue barrow out in the ring. That is 30-1, lot number 14. Again, Hero Kingpin, verbatim Roxy on the bottom side. Icon is the sire. So again, we've got Landon on the partial belted, thin belted barrow, or boar pig. That is the Play It Cool Goosebumps. And then we have Cadence on lot 13, Luke on lot 14. Those are litter mates, Icon, Hero, Kingpin. Next into the ring, we actually have our leadoff gilt. Landon is going to have that belted gilt out there. That is lot number 1. That's our leadoff, and that is 28-8. That is a Play It Cool Goosebumps. Again, that mother would have had made the grand at Logan County last year, the reserve grand at Wyoming State Fair the year before that. We think that is a very special female relative to one that can be a good show gilt and run awful hard on the Jackpot Series. And then if you're looking to lay in an incredible sow and an incredible female, we feel that is the kind that we like to make right there at Flatland, relative to bone, stoutness, and look. Really incredible Play It Cool female, lot number 1. That's going to be our leadoff in the sale. Cadence has lot number 22, right, Cadence? That is 28-6. That is a litter mate to the leadoff. Again, Play It Cool Goosebumps. So again, another litter mate. I think very similar mold to our litter mate that leads off the sale. Maybe a little more chrome working on that one. A little bigger back shape, but a very, very neat female right there. And then Luke over there, he has lot number 23. That is 30-4. Again, that is a litter mate to those blue barrows we just talked about. That is an Icon, Hero, Kingpin, verbatim Roxy would be the extended pedigree. And those of you guys that look for show gilts and look for ones to maybe go back into a herd at home, that one is royally bred relative to what we've done at Flatland, building upon that verbatim Roxy sow, and then consequently the Hero daughters that are working now. So out in the ring, we have lot number 1, which is what Landon's driving. That's the 28-8. Cadence has the litter mate, 28-6. And Luke has 30-4, lot number 23. Good job, guys. The next three that are coming in, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, Landon, you're grabbing 28. 28 is 28-4. Again, one of those play it cools. This is a little more moderate set of barrows right here that I think would be perfect for that August run to that show in Pueblo at the end of the year. Play it cool, Goosebumps. And that is 28-4 that Landon has there, the lot number 28. Cadence is going to grab lot number 29. That is 29-3. And that is a Paradise. And then Mom is actually originated from 4K Farms. That would be an Operation Northwoods wedding night. Operation Northwoods was a Dirty Secret son. So pretty line bred, Dirty Secret wedding night on the bottom side. And then Paradise is a boar at Moyers, would be an Unashamed son. And I would tell you right now, those Paradises are extra stout, extra wide. They probably need to go slow for the entire growing period. But a really neat set there. And then lot number 30, Luke, I think you've got lot number 30. That is an Icon, Hero, Kingpin. And again, that's that lot 30. So again, goes back to that verbatim Roxy sow. It's the one Luke has on the end of his flag right there. So again, Landon, he's going to have lot number 28. That's a Play It Cool Goosebumps. Lot number 29 is the one Cadence is going to be driving. That's 29-3, Paradise is the sire, and lot number 30, Luke has on the end of his flag. That is an Icon, Hero. Really neat set of little barrows there that I think would be really versatile in their growing program relative to the fall. Next three in the ring are a trio of gilts. Landon, you're going to grab number 36, right? That's the one with the spot in her back, and I think everybody kind of finds that one at home. That is a 26 litter. That's a Believe in Me, Breaking Rules. We already saw her littermate brother earlier in that first trio of males. This is the 26-3 gilt. Neat look right there in that one. And again, Believe in Me on the sire side. Cadence has lot number 37. That is 31-4. And then Luke actually has 31-6. 37 and 38 are littermates. Those are both Believe in Me's. And then on that Gangster Dirty Deal sow, that's that first-time litter gilt. We've been really impressed with them. Very stout featured in all three of those pigs out in the ring, all out of Believe in Me. You know, that's a boar that's been around a couple of years but continues to do a fantastic job. And I think you could see why with the extra stoutness and look and bone that these guys have. So again, Landon is on the one with the spot in her back. That is lot number 36, Believe in Me, Breaking Rules. Cadence is on 31-4. That's lot 37. And Luke is on lot 38, 31-6. Those pair are littermates, Believe in Me gangsters. Those of you guys watching at home, obviously, on either Taylor Fort Streaming or on our Facebook feed at Elevate or Flatland or Charles or Hinton Livestock, it's shared on all of them. You can go back and watch this after the fact when it's all said and done. I think that's always a good thing to go back and re-watch this and look through it one more time. I think we just have a pair out here in this particular one. Landon, you're on 45. Oh, there are three. I'm sorry. Lot number 45, that is 27-6, and that's a litter we haven't talked about yet, but I think we're going to talk about quite a few of them. 27 litter is an Icon again, that next Ascension son at Hofschulte. The sow would be a Kingpin Pretty Boy, and she would actually be the mom of the Blue Barrow that was reserve heavyweight crossbred at Colorado State Fair last year, sold in this very sale last year at this time. So that 27 litter, that he's almost solid white. Those of you hunting Yorkshire classifying ones, he does have a little bit of blue right on his tail. Not saying that's not manageable, but that is the one that Landon has right there, 27.6. Cadence has the littermate belted barrow. That is 27-3. Again, Icon, Kingpin is the pedigree. That mom does a fantastic job. She raises a bunch of pigs, and those Icons are stout with extra muscle. And obviously that sow's proven herself with a very good litter last year, raising that reserve heavyweight cross at Colorado State Fair. And then number 47, Luke Charles has that one at the end of his flag. That is 29-2. That's another one of the Paradises. Back on that Dirty Secret line bred wedding night sow. And that is number 47, 29-2. So a pair of littermate 27 litters out there. The almost solid white one that Landon Charles has. Cadence has the belted one. And then Luke's driving the 29-2 Paradise barrel. Next up into the ring for us are 54, 55, and 56. This is a pen of gilts. Landon Charles is going to be on lot number 54. That is 27-7. Again, the Icon Kingpin would be the pedigree. Very neat gilt right there. Those of you guys that are wanting one that can stay, I think, solid white through the growing phase. There's maybe just a shade of blue right on her eyebrow there, but I think that one's pretty much solid white, or right on her tail, excuse me. That one is a pretty neat female right there that should have a lot of friends relative to one that is very stout. Cadence is on lot number 55. That's her littermate, 27-9. Again, Icon Pretty Boy is the pedigree. Cadence is driving that one around the ring, 27-9. And then Luke Charles, he's going to kick that partial belted gilt out there. That's another one of those 26s. Believe in Me, Breaking Rules. Secret Weapon is the pedigree. Again, very high on those 26s today. Maybe just let her drive out there. Maybe she didn't want to follow the flag. There we go. 26-6, lot 56 is that partial belted gilt. So lot number 54 is the white one with a little bit of blue on her tail. Lot 55 is her littermate, 27-9, the traditional belted one that Cadence has. And 26-6 is the one with the partial belt through the middle of her body. Believe in Me. And as we go in the back, guys, after we're done with the preview tonight, you want to come back and talk about relative to, feeding program and feeding pattern on some of these different pigs, please come back and talk to Brian or myself. Be more than happy to kind of line those out for you. Speaking of that, Landon has lot number 62 out there. That is 28-3. That's another one of those play it cools. And those of you guys hunting ones that can be ready late July, early August, that need to be fed pretty consistently through the whole growing phase, that's one right there that needs to do it. That one is tall-shouldered, big-legged, and really stout-skulled, and needs just the feed bucket kind of to let that one roll the whole way all through the feeding phase. But that is a good pig to be ready the 1st of August, that traditional belted 28-3. That's lot 62. Lot number 63 is the chromed up one that Cadence has, and that is 32-3. That's another one of those and then somes. That's a littermate to kind of the first barrel we're going to lead off our sale with, lot 4. This one's a little bit bigger. I think certainly can be ready to roll there early part of August, but has enough muscle to stretch maybe a little bit further. So 2 different kinds of barrows there that are about the same size, but I think have different feeding programs relative to them. Landon has the traditional belted 28-3, the play it cool. And then Cadence has certainly the stouter muscled, wider based one in 32-3. That's lot 63. Pair of really neat barrows, though. The next 3 coming out for Flatland are lots 70, 71, and 72. And don't mind the little extra red sunburn there. The tanning light decided not to click off the other night and just decided to burn them all night long. So those of you guys worried about sunburning a pig, we already got that out of the way for you, so you don't have to worry about it. I know, Zach Coriel, yours are running outside. Yep. So lot number 70, is that who you have over there, Landon? Lot number 70? That is 27-13. Icon Kingpin. Again, the 27 litter is very consistent, very high quality. I love the skull shape and the bone size and those icons, and you can see that on display in this 27-13 gilt. Do you think that one's pretty versatile of where she can go relative to her pattern in the end? It's a very neat gilt. Cadence is going to have lot number 71. That is 28-9. That's another one of those play it cools. Little bigger gilt. Those of you guys hunting pigs that are going to be ready into July, early August, I think that gilt fits really well into that feeding program of just letting that one roll and not having to worry about too much. They're big-legged. They're comfortable. Those play it cools are really pliable, heavy structured animals that can feed, especially out of that sow. She's proven herself. And then lot number 72, we roll that one out there. That's the one that really decided to get under the heat lamp. That is 29-8, another one of the Paradises. Again, those Paradise pigs, stout featured, have a little extra muscle. They're going to have plenty of power to them in the end. But that one, I think, is really well built from the side, and elevation is good. So 3 pretty neat gilts out in the ring, lots 70, 71, and 72. Lot 70 is the 27 litter, 71 is the 28 play it cool, and 72 is that Paradise gilt. We have lots 75, 76, and 77. Landon has the solid black one over there. I try not to bring many solid black ones, but when they look like this one, I really don't care what color pattern they are. That is 27-4, another Icon Kingpin. Again, that mom has proven herself, raising that reserve heavyweight crossbred at Colorado State Fair last year. Also had a grand overall at one of the Main Street Mayhem jackpots this last spring out of that litter last year. This solid black one is really stout, heavy constructed. I like that one quite a bit. Cadence is going to have the litter mate. That one's has just a little bit of blue right on his hip. That is 27-5. Again, Icon Kingpin on that one. Again, I think you can see with those icons, as you see on the video or look at them around in the ring, their look ahead of their blade and their skull shape and density is really, really unique. And then the last one out there is 29-5. That's kind of the chromed up one that Landon's going to have on the end of the whip right there. Paradise, Operation Northwoods. Very good, comfortable, chromed up barrow there. It's going to have plenty of powered muscle in the end. So a pair of 27s, the solid black one, the mostly white one, those are the icons. And then lot number 77 is the Paradise. Just a pair comes next in lot 82 and 83. 82 is the blue one. That'll be 27-2. Again, another one of those Icon Kingpin pigs. I told you she had a lot of them, and they all made the cut, which is really nice to see. But I think you can see the consistency runs awful deep in that litter. The skull shape, the bone size, the foot size, and the muscle shape is consistent amongst that entire litter of Icons. And that is very good in the blue-eyed barrow in 27-2. Cadence has lot number 83. That is 29-4. He's still intact, but that is a Paradise Operation Northwoods pig. And I would say on that one, he needs to be fed really slow. That one is stout and wide and massive, and he can be ready to roll there certainly into July and early August. Needs to have a slow feeding program on him. So a pair out there, a little bit different in their growth pattern and where you want to fit them. But lot 82 is the Icon, the blue barrow. The chromed up barrel was lot number 83, 29-4. Three gilts come out next. Lot number 87, 88, and 89. Lot number 87, Landon, you have that one first. That is 29-6. Again, that's a Paradise. Traditional belted gilt. Plenty of stoutness, stout skull shape in that one. Plenty of muscle in her. Again, those Paradises are going to have plenty to them when it's all said and done. I think you just got to go nice and easy with them, but that one can be ready to roll into July to early August. Going to fit a lot of shows. Lot number 88. Cadence is going to have that one. I really like this little gilt. That's another one of those play it cools. That one's a little stouter and more moderate, but big legs on that particular gilt, 28-5. Again, Mom has raised a bunch of really good pigs for us. The Grand at Logan last year, the Reserve Grand at Wyoming State Fair the year before that. That Goosebumps Hillbilly Hilton sow has done a fantastic job for us. And then the last one out there that Landon drives toward the center of the ring, that white belted gilt, that is lot number 89, 26-4, another one of those Believe in Me's breaking rules. And I think you can see the consistent look that that litter has. Look ahead of their blade, elevation, stout form, big front feet, and a wicked hind leg. Like a lot of things about the Believe in Me's 26 litter. So lot number 87, 87, 88, and 89. Lot number 95 and 96. Pair of gilts out in the ring. 95, is that the one you have, Landon? Yep. Okay, that is 28-7. So again, another play it cool. Goosebumps. Similar mold of her litter mates. Stout feature, big form. Traditional belted gilt that's going to look like a really good show pig her whole life. Big feet and legs. Those of you guys looking for something that's going to work that into July, early August time frame, I think that litter right there, that 28 litter, should be very high on your list. And then Cadence has 27-12. That is the solid black gilt. That's another one of the Icons Kingpins. Very deep, consistent litter. Lots of muscle shape in those Icons. They have plenty of power to them, and you can see that in that particular gilt. Really shows herself off, too. So lot number 95 and 96. 95 is the 28-7 gilt. Lot number 96 is 27-12, the solid black one. Then the final two in the ring for us this evening. Lot number 97, Landon Charles. I think my buddy Ralph Hinton was giving me a hard time. He's going, why did you stick this one clear down here? Well, you know, I don't know how to put a sale order together, so I thought we better finish off with a couple really good barrows. And these would be the last two in the sale, consequently. 97 is 32-2, and then some Steeltown. Litter mate to our leadoff barrow. It's going to be toward the top, so we just wanted to bookend the thing here with a pair of those and then somes, that tricked out son. And then lot number 98 is the one Cadence has. That is 31-1. Again, his litter mate leads off toward the front of the sale, but this is a Believe in Me, gangster, dirty deal. I think a pair of really neat barrows right here that could work really well for those of you guys hunting ones to stretch all the way through the summer and even into fall. Lot 97 and 98. I know we moved through that fairly rapidly tonight, guys, but obviously you can come back, kick them all out. Those of you guys looking at Facebook Live and on Taylor Fort's website there, you can go back and rewatch this and obviously give us a call if you have any questions, message us. Again, on behalf of the entire Flatland crew, thanks for coming out here. And I'm going to turn this over to Ralph, and he's going to run through Hinton Livestock.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Ralph Hinton, my wife Jordan, and Savannah, Sydney, and Kyler bringing Hinton Livestock. Our first pin that we're going to start out with are the 5-liter barrows. Their mother's kind of our number one sow running around our place right now. She actually had the 5-liter pigs last year at this sale. Resulted in champion lightweight at Kit Carson. A couple of other class winners all around the state, and then her winter litter, champion dark cross in Dalhart, Texas, Reserve Hampshire, south of Lubbock. I can't remember that county's name. But these would be Next Intentions, Never Before, Dolly, which Dolly would be the mother of our Reserve Grand at State Fair 2 years ago. That pedigree makes these barrows 3/4 sibs to those that Reserve Champion barrow that year. These are going to be Lot 7 and Lot 8. Landon is working on the black-headed barrow. That is Lot 7. Really like that guy's range of motion, and for a next, a pig that's really correct in his length up through his neck and his crest. I think that one's incredibly athletic. He did get his toe stepped on when he was a baby out in the crate, so it is mostly regrown, but still doesn't think that it hinders him in the way that he gets out and moves. I think that's a really nice pig. The Cadence is on Lot 8. That's 5-4. Barrow that we had a picture of on Facebook leading up to the sale. Same thing applies in terms of just cleanliness of throat and neck and correctness of build. I think that one's probably a little bulkier than the black-headed one at this point. Both of these barrows, I'd say, target, if you wanted to lean on them, they probably could make that early August deal. Probably just considering their flesh and their size, probably fit that State Fair range, middle of August into August or beyond, really, really well. Like these barrows, they're my kind. Give them the feed bucket and let them go to work for you. I think these are really good ones. Next in, we have a trio of gilts. The seven, one of them is a 5 and then 2 7s. We'll go ahead and start with Lot 15, which is 7-8. We'll see her brothers later, which includes our leadoff barrow. I think that one's incredibly proportional, or lover's skull shape. The 7s would be Major League, Never Before, Sharp Dressed Man. Their mother would have raced the class winner there at Cheyenne here not too long, back in December, and then had a barrow that was in the top 5 at Arizona that we were really, really proud of. That the Stromberger family showed. This is her second litter, and we're really excited about what this sow can do for us. I think that Lot 15, really proportional, perfect belted for a Hampshire division. Then Lot 16, which would be 7-5, is following the stick there. I think that one is very bulky, always going to be really fleshy. I think if you do have a earlier county fair into July, first part of August, I think that one wants to feed and wants to go. I think her build is incredible. She's really square in her chest. She's really correct in her rib shape. I think that one can be really, really fun. The really skinny-bellied one out here is a 5. Out of that sow, the skinnier ones have always been the ones that fed. I think that one is pretty skinny here today, but if you read her in terms of her chest floor and where she has the pieces that you need, I think that one can be really, really good if you give her a shot. So she'd be a 3/4 sib to Reserve Grand at State Fair in 2021. Once again, so the normal belted one is 15. The kind of off belted there is 16, and the really wide belted gilt is 17. Pair of barrows coming in. Both of these, I want to make sure you know, are crips. One of these barrows is a double crip. 4-3 has actually got both of his testicles, one in his flank and one somewhere else. So they will need to get fixed by a vet. So at some point, but they both are crips. So just make a note of that. These barrows are Allow Me, No Intro, Never Before, Dolly. So the 5s would be their grandmother. Their mother was champion lightweight at Kit Carson County for the Coryell family. Really impressive gilt that we liked that day. And these guys, I think, are skinny in the right places, but still have really, really big legs, really correct in the way that their hind leg bends and functions. The 4-2 is the off-belted barrel that Landon's on. That one's really, really bulky through his center body, right in the center of his cage. I think that one is still good looking and short-bodied and proportional. Like the way when he gets his head up and goes, I think that one can be a really, really nice barrel. Probably fits first part of August till State Fair, just depends on how you want to feed him. I think that one you probably don't push extremely hard just because he does have quite a bit, but I like that barrel quite a bit. The one that Cadence is on is the double crip. This one, if you haven't known already, is kind of my kind. Really, really big-legged and skinny in his muscle right now. Doesn't scare me at all, considering if you saw his mom at fighting weight, muscle and power will not be a problem. I think that one's big-legged. He's really correct in his forearm. Really great in the way that his shoulder ties into his neck and into his blade. I think that barrel has a big upside. Whoever gets that one and takes him home, I think is going to be pretty happy here in about a week or two when his muscle really does come in, because I think that barrel is really good. Once again, lot 24 and 25, 4-2 and 4-3. Allow Me, which is a Albright bred board there at Moyers. 3 littermate barrels coming next. Ben talked about the Believe in Me boar that's been around the block a few times, but just keeps getting it done. If you've ever seen that boar in person, you would probably breed the farm to him just because he's the most impressive mature boar that maybe is out there. Their mother is an Anchorman Safe Word. If you get way back in that pedigree, that's our stuff for a long ways. Anchorman Safe Word, Dirty Secret, Dolly. These barrels, I think, are very, very good. Their mother was a really impressive gilt, was second at Stockman's Showcase, second high-selling gilt that we ended up actually bringing her back at Texas National the very first year. I think that this gilt is really, really good. The big one is the one that Luke's on now. That's 3-2. Love that guy's hair, his width underneath, his look and his jawline is extremely good. Looks like his mother does up front. I think that guy can fit probably about anywhere you want to go. If you want to lean on him and make him a county fair barrel into July, I think you could. Or if you want to sit on him, I think that's even better, because I think that guy can stay in the range for a long, long time. I think that one's really impressive to look at. Dark colored in his skin, naturally. Big, really good hair. Really square off both ends. The little guy with the spot in his top that Landon's got goes next. I don't think that one probably does make it to a county at end of July, first part of August, but if you're hunting a state fair barrel or later, I think that one can stay in the zone for a really long time. Got an incredible look up through his throat and neck. Really big in his forearm, really correct in his length of body. I think that barrel can be really good. It just probably will be a little while before he gets there. Probably the barrel that's in the middle comes next, 3-3 that Cadence is on. I think you can feed this one. Of the 3 barrels, I think he's probably the most flexible and loose in his spine and skeleton. I think you can lean on him and feed him a little harder to make it to a early August, late July type county fair. Love that one's flexibility. His spine is incredible. He's really bendy in the way his hind leg moves. Probably the third on muscle from behind, but that probably gives you an advantage to feed on that guy. Really 3 really good barrels, 31, 32, and 33. These would be the 3 litter out of Believe in Me. Three barrels coming next that are the 7-liter barrels. Our leadoff barrel is in here. He is lot 2, the big guy in the middle. He is a crip, so do make that note. But I think this barrel is maybe as burly as one if I've ever made. This thing is big-legged for a baby pig that is his age. He's a January 3rd, so he's not a very old hog, but one that's very, very big-legged. I think an incredible, in terms of his length of body, his density and burliness from his skull to his blade and his forearm. I think that one's incredibly good. His brothers did wear a hole in his side, just nervous ticking on his side, so I think he'll be fine once he gets away from them. But I think that guy's incredibly burly and dense, short-bodied. Their mother, this would only be her second litter. She would have had class-winning gilt at Cheyenne, and then Stromberger's barrow that was top 5 there at Arizona. Next one in that litter to come, sorry, I lost my spot. Lot 39 is 7-3. That would be the one that Cadence is on with the spot in his belt. I think incredibly short-bodied, same density, maybe not as big as his littermate that's going to lead off this sale, but I love that one's range of motion from behind. Really good in terms of the bend that he has to his hock in his forearm, or in his pastern, in his heel. One that's short-bodied and dense. Probably not one that you need to feed extremely fast. That one's got plenty from behind and got a lot of stuff to him. So one that I think probably fits, for early part of August, maybe on the state fair if you want to take him nice and slow, but I think a barrow that's really stout and dense. The wide belted barrow, it comes next. This guy is a man through the center part of his body, really big and coming out of his blade and into his pin set. He probably is not the sexiest looking one right now, but if you clean him up and stretch him out and feed him and let him burn off his baby fat, that one is going to be as big through the center part of his body in dimension and power that I think, and he fits probably a lot of county fairs. He is castrated. He does seem to have a little bit of swelling back there behind, but we will guarantee him if he needs to get some work done. But I think that barrow is castrated, just looking at him from behind. So once again, these barrows are Major League, never before, sharp dressed man. The lot 7-1, or notch 7-1, 7-3, and 7-4. I need to steal Landon and let him come to my house and whip train my pigs. You can come too, Luke. 3 5-liter gilts come out next. Luke is working on 48 5-5. Like I said, out of that sow, the skinny ones have always been the ones that have fed. And I know that one is really skinny bodied right now, but just my gut tells me that one is going to be very, very good. That thing's square underneath. She's incredible in her look from her blade forward. These guys are next in tension, never before dolly. And if you think about that pedigree and that one being a next, she's going to do nothing but bulk and get stouter. But her length off both ends of her skeleton is extremely good. I'm not worried about her center body. I think that one can be really, really good in the end. Fits probably end of July, first part of August, county fair, and just give her the feed bucket and let her run. If you want to slow her down, I bet you could, but I probably would just let that one have it and let her go to work. 5-9 is the belted gilt, the narrow belted gilt that Luke's working on now. She's a little skittish. Love that one at the top of her blade. I know that one reads like a skinny pig, but if you read her at the top of her blade and read her in her center body, that one is incredible in the way that she comes out of her blade with the way that her muscles laid onto her skeleton. I think that one's proportional in her length of body. She's incredible in her hind leg in the way that it wants to go. Her black, very much like her black-headed brother that we looked at earlier, skinny, but I think in the right places. That one's really, really good. 5-8 is probably the one that's most ready to go right now. That one has a really big back, really opened up underneath and stout. She is one that probably needs to be managed a little bit and just chilled out and come off baby pig feed because she's plenty everywhere. But if you like to feed them that way, that one's stout and big from behind, but still really clean in her throat and her jaw. So if you need to slow her down, she's going to do it in the right spots. Love that one's color pattern, opened up underneath. So 3 really gilts that we like a whole lot. 5-5, 5-9, and 5-8. They'd be 48, 49, and 50. Next in tension, never before. Two zoo-colored ones coming out next. Shout out to Zach Coriel. He said to say that these have the boots with the fur. So These guys are extremely hairy, really big-legged and really stout. These do get to be light crosses in the CJSA deal this year. That one that Landon's on is 6-2. That guy's forearm is incredible. I gave him a hack job of a haircut, so I apologize about that. But his color's not ideal, but that is a really good show pig that I think can be really good when he finally gets there. These are Major League next contestant, the King. Their mother actually would have been shown by Landon, so it's convenient that he's showing that barrow. Was champion overall at Kit Carson County last year. And we got from the Charles after they had won, so they don't have to sell them at that county. I think a gilt that's going to be pretty integral to what we got going forward. The bigger barrow that Luke and both of them are working on probably has a little more grow, a little more ready to kind of fit a show earlier August, into July. Really, really big legs. Love that one's running ability to use his shoulder, and his forearm is huge. He's stout in his skull and stout between his eyes. He's starting to get harder. That is one that probably had as much baby fat as any pig in our barn, so he continues to just get a little harder and a little more sharper in his edges every day. That one continues to climb up my list quite a bit. So two that can be in the light cross division this year in CJSA, two that I think have a big feeding window and are really nice hogs. Their sisters come next. Ben already badmouthed the black ones, so I'm not going to do it anymore because these ones I think are really, really good. These ones are just as hairy, if not hairier. These guys are really big-legged. They're really correct in the way their range of motion from behind. Their muscle lays on them correct. These are Major League next contestant, the King. So littermate to those red ones that just came out. I gave Landon a hard time that his gilt gave me black ones and red ones. No belted ones, Landon. Thanks for that, buddy. But they are good ones, so we'll give you an excuse. Think these things are big-legged. They probably fit, middle August and beyond. I think these things can feed for a really, really long time. If you're okay with feeding black ones, these ones are very, very good. I think they're square underneath, they're hairy, they're big-legged, and their muscle lays on their skeletons correctly. They bend their hind legs correct, and they're green in the right spots. Big fans of these two black gilts that run next. They're lot 64 and 65, 6-6, and is the one that Luke's working on. And 6-7 is one Cadence on, which is lot 65, sorry. I heard Ben make reference earlier that he didn't know how to make a sale order, and apparently I don't either, because these next two gilts are two of my favorites. I don't know where 4-5, which is the little one, and then 4-4, where these fit from a age and show standpoint, because they're not real big. They're January 2nds, and we saw their brothers earlier that were a lot bigger. If you've got a late show or state fair or want to show into the fall, August to Kansas City or further, I'm big fans of these gilts. 4-4 is the one that Cadence is on. Probably the skinny or bellied one right now, but if you read that one in her blade and the way that her chest floor is designed and the bone that one has for a little tiny pig, I think that one's awful, awful good. She bends her leg correctly. She's really tight in her jaw without having a wussy head. I think that's a really, really nice gilt. And then the little one that Landon's on probably is one, if you've got a July or early August county fair, this one's not going to fit because she's not going to make weight by then. But if you're going to show into the fall, I think this one's a hammer. I think she's incredibly short-bodied. She's proportional. She's got big legs. She's got the hair, the color, the look. I'm a huge fan of this gilt. So she would be 4-5, lot 79, the one that Landon's on, and then 4-4, 78 is the one that Luke's working on. Big fans of these gilts. Like I said, I don't know where they fit from a show window, and if you've got a spot that you want to show into the fall, jump in because these are as good as we can make in the gilt ring. They're very, very good. Our final two, 5-1 and 5-6. Landon is on the barrow 5-1. That would be a littermate to those two barrows that we ran out here in kind of fives all the way through. Next intention, never before dolly. This is probably the barrow that did want to get after it and grow. So if you have a July county fair or even early August, I think this is the one that does fit you if you like the fives. This one's really big forearm, just like his brother's, really correct in terms of the way that his shoulder's laid in this one. He probably has as much from behind as any of those 5s that we've seen, and he definitely has taken off and grown. I think a barrel that can fit and really get after it and grow and fit those earlier county fairs of the set that we brought. I think he fits the earliest stuff. The gilt is 5-6. This one is incredibly powerful in terms of her back shape and from behind, still really correct in her knee. One that probably needs to be slowed down just a little bit from a muscle standpoint. Take her home and drop her protein, definitely. But one that's got a great look up front, widen it through the center part of her body. I think a really nice gilt that can get after it and grow. I'd still say into July, first part of August on that gilt. Go ahead and drop her protein, but let her have some feed. I think she can fit a variety of county fairs. That's all of it for Hinton Livestock. Come back and see us. Kick them out in the hall. Whatever you need to do, and talk to us. Call me on my cell phone if you have questions and you're going to bid online. And I think we're getting Charles Showpigs up here next. Thank you very much.
Good evening, guys. I appreciate you being here, and I mean that. Some days I kind of wake up and pinch myself and think that this is way too good to be true to get to do this full-time here. I look around here and see a lot of good friends, and it means a ton to know that my kids get to grow up with your kids, and that this is what we're doing on a Friday night here. Thank you, and let's have fun. Please reach out if you guys have any questions. That's what we're here for. We're so excited to get to work with you this summer. I love Ralph and Ben and Brian and all the crews that come with them. That's why we do this sale with them. I trust those guys, and I know that I can speak for all of us when I say we want to see you have success, and we want to work with you. The more we can communicate throughout the summer, the better. So before I get long-winded here, and I know you guys have heard a lot about pigs already, thank you. We're going to start off here with tag 9 and tag 10. Looks like we dumped 11 as well. Tag 9 is the calico pig that Landon's on. This one gets me pretty excited. This would be from the last collection of Tricked Out. This would be a repeat mating to the 12s last year. The 12s were a really fun litter. They had Grand Market Gilt Exarban, Reserve Gilt Colorado, Reserve Grand Sedgwick, Romeo for Chamberlain's made the sale at State Fair. Main Street Mayhem won with a different one. Weld County Medium Heavy Champ. I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Aftermarket, the boar at Beeman's. So that litter had, 8 that hung a banner. And to get to repeat mate those was pretty cool, knowing that Tricked Out had died before I bred the sow. That calico is really neat fronted for being that burly. Love his chest, love his feature, love his shag. Proportions are my favorite part about that litter last year. If I could make them all like that, this would be really, really easy. Luke's trying on the Belted Brother, tag 10. This one's taller, but not any longer backed. Super shaggy. More extended, maybe not as neat, but still more extended. He screams show barrow to me. These things are exactly, really close to a month older than last year's, which is a good thing, the way those Tricked Outs fed. I'm sure glad we have them. The 11, she's a lot. This is not what Weston Charles normally brings you. That one has a gob of shape. And it's fun to look at, but know what you're getting into here. This one needs to eat oats and not a lot of it, and she needs to show late. I don't care if she's old, she needs to show late. That thing is wound up, so don't rush her. Be patient. Exarban is early for her. Kansas City's totally fine. That is a FAFO who was aboard that they didn't let much semen go. Then he died as well. That Sloan and Hilty bought from Corb back on the $20,000 Secret Society Blurred Vision sow. We're not starting off the sale with either or anything out of this pin, but they'd be the first full pin to sell. Study those things, and if I can help in any way, let me know there. Luke's got 9, who would be 2-1. The barrel that Landon's trying to get to pose is 10, 2-2. And the gilt, the perfectly belted gilt, is 1-6, tag 11. This next pin is all 8-litter pigs. These are out of a boar named God's Gift. I was really excited about this boar when I saw him at Laird's. His semen quality was below average, so we didn't settle many. We did get this litter, and we're glad we did. This mama would have raised the 4th overall at Weld here last summer, as well as the 3rd overall breeder incentive barrel. These things do a good job of combining their parents. God's Gift is super neat about his head and neck. Just ultra attractive. Mama is really hairy and burly. Let's see here. 18 would be 8-3. She's one of the belted gilts there. She's moving plenty fast here, coming towards me. Huh? Okay. Tag 19 is 8-8, the broken belt. 20 is the male pig out here. Landon's working on him there. 21 is 8-7, the other traditionally belted gilt that Luke's driving here closest to me. I think several of these things, on the gilts especially, can stretch a long time. They have enough extension and front end quality that I think we can feed those things to be big and still look the part. Love their arm, just forearm, but extension, blade forward. I think these things are super solid. I don't think you can go wrong with one in this pin. Again, God's Gift, King of the Hill. Okay, this pin has a little mix of numbers. Tag 3, ear notch 3-3 is our leadoff barrel. He'd be the one that Landon's trying to get with the flag. This would be a hat trick, a tricked out son that Perry raised back on a JoJo Mama. JoJo Mama just raised the Grand at San Angelo, never before son at Heimer's there. This sow was incredible. She is incredible in her build and look, just like that guy. I get excited to just feed that one. He's one that doesn't have to go super slow. You don't have to get super tricky. Just take care of that one, and I think he gets better every day. The way his neck comes out of his blade is naturally shaggy as his legs are. Big old feet. I think that guy's pretty neat. His brother there would be the 3-2 pig, 27. Maybe shorter backed, maybe naturally better in his cage and body. Like that guy's proportions. I think that guy's old enough that you can make him work when you want him to be ready. I love the flexibility he gives you. Good chested, good pin set. Again, hat trick JoJo. The calico gilt be 2-4 tag 26. Tricked out, dirty south, little bro, red alert. Some of my most maternal and best stuff goes back in the bottom side of this one. For being a repeat mating and brothers to those boars, she might, of all the ones we've had, be the most busted open, sappy in her body shape, and just kind of burly. A lot of those things start out pretty darn green. That one's kind of fun just to imagine if Tricked Out does what he always does and keeps him big ankled and good looking, what will that one be like with that good a chest and body shape naturally? Show that one as a market gilt, take her as a big breeding gilt. Better yet, make her a sow. It doesn't matter. That one has a lot of quality and a really good story to go with whatever she does. So tag 3, 3-3 in the middle. Tag 26, 2-4, the calico gilt. Tag 27, 3-2, the barrel with the big dot on his back. Really good options, guys, with a lot of flexibility, whether you want to win your county fair or stretch one pretty deep. We'll just manage those accordingly. Oh yeah, I guess that's a light cross now too. That'd be pretty fun. Here we got a pin of 2. We got tag 34, 2-5 that Landon's on. Here's the green looking, really neat built, attractive repeat mating that we're used to. She's green today. If you're on video and you think you're buying a ripped up one, this isn't her. But I encourage you to study the way her neck comes out of her blade, just the way she motors. I think that one gets better every day on feed. Again, that's Tricked Out Dirty South. Landon's on one that today is too dry-bodied. I know it. She needs a bigger belly. But if there's anything we can do with the feed bucket, it's that. Because I can't tell you how to feed a neck into one like that, a look into one like that, a running gear into one like that. So I encourage you to jump in on something that we can control. When that one cranks her head and motors, I really, really like it. She'd be a hat trick JoJo. 3-6 tag 35. She's also, for all you young kids, got a huge personality. You walk in the barn, half the time she's figured out a way to get out. She wants to rub against your leg and chew on you. She's pretty fun.
Don't tell him she gets out.
That'd be the final 2 litter here, this wide belted one to sell of the repeat matings. And then Landon's got 3-6 tag 35. I think that one could be, she's got enough shape and pin width to be a market gilt. You want to make her fat and big, show her as a breeding one at 3 1/4. I don't care. You know, you can show that thing forever and get a ton of mileage out of her. We dump a big pin here. These are all 7s. This sow has been really important for our program. We call her the Little Bro sow. Miss Cadence in the ring here would have showed one of my favorites out of that sow a couple years ago. I think she won, 6, 7 jackpots with that barrow. Ends up being the high point dude on the circuit. She's also become the grandma of about, a lot of stuff. Our reserve middleweight at Denver this year, plenty of sailmakers at State Fair this year. She's the grandma of a lot of them around. I really like just what that Little Bro does in terms of bringing shape, chest width, big arm. These things aren't wanting to pose up here too well. We probably have too many at once, but there's 3 gilts. Tag 41 would be 7-4 that Landon's working on with the flag. I love how hard her back shape is and how big her arm. She just balances super neat. Tag 42 is the male pig, 7-3. I think he needs to go to Pueblo or beyond. Really, really good back shape, like hard all the time. Zipper fronted. But that's one that I can't decide just where he's going to brush that dude. We just got to keep him in line and not let him get wild. But I love his jaw, lack of throat, hard shape. These be major leagues, Little Bro. Then these next 2 gilts, 7-7s, tag 43, 7-8s, 44. So good already in their rib cage and body. They're ones that we don't have to work hard there on. We just kind of let them do their thing. They have a good combination of being shapely but sappy. I think those gilts, we could roll to about any county fair, but if we want to be patient, they got enough shape and cage that won't hurt us. I know they're not being the most cooperative here, but kick them out in the alley. Come visit with us. If we can get you a better look, we sure will. Know that you're tapping into one of my all-time favorite sows here in the 7s. I just love the arm and the leg hair those things have. When they come out of the gate with the chest view and a big old blade and arm like that, you're going to give a really good first impression. We jump here to a pen of 4 litters. These 4s, they're not the oldest pigs that I brought, but they have the most grow. The mama of these will always hold a special place in Luke Charles's heart. The first one we really let him show, we took down to Texas Nationals, and she wins the light cross deal. And then we brought her up here, and she wins Jingle Bells as a little gilt there. That'd be the same mother as these. The Console family also had a York barrow that got along really good at those same shows out of this sow. But these are hat tricks, and she's a ladies' man. This sow has consistently proven me wrong. I always say, are those things big enough legged? And man, their maturity on bone is always good. Coriel's bought a blue pig from me that I kind of honestly overlooked a little bit. That thing had tree trunks for legs when it was all said and done. And if that sow does that again here with their just basic rib cage, pin width, it's going to be fun if these things have trunks for legs. I mean, take these things home to your county fair, come in there and just be big ones and look really, really good, you know? There's some differences. That big black gilt that Landon has, tag 51-6, she might be the biggest ankled today. She's got a ton of dimension. The blue pig, or the more blue one here that Luke's working on, he'd be 4-1, tag 52. I love his build and proportions. Landon's probably got the wild card. That one's pretty freaky. When he kind of cocks his head real high and gives you a look, you just kind of wonder what you could do with that one. Feed him a little fat, soften him up, just let him go. That thing's going to be stout, burly. You're going to check a lot of boxes at any county fair. Are there feeders that manage these to state fair? Sure, but I will warn you, this sow does have a little more grow than most of my stuff. All right, we dump out a trio of male pigs out of the 6 litter. Tag 59 is 6-4. He looks a tick empty today, but he'd be the broken belt over there. This sow put one in the sale at State Fair last year. She would have raised the reserve grand at Kit Carson 2 years ago for Franz's. Smokin' Joe is the boar here. That's a boar that I didn't think anybody would have heard of by now. But, man, I guess I wasn't the only guy that used him. He sits at Canals, and when Kyle says that he's using one with his track record here at majors lately, I listen up. So, Smokin' Joe, first alert. Landon's got 6-4, tag 59. Love that guy's skull. They all are good-bellied, wide enough. Let's see here. 60, tag 60 is 6-2. He'd be the traditionally belted one that's running around with his tail down. He's the cleanest throated and the sharpest headed. And then you got kind of the one that always looked like a man on the decks. He'd be the chromed up one, 6-1, tag 61. He's the biggest ankled, biggest arm probably. Those ones are easy to feed. We don't have to get super smart and slow them down or drop them way low on protein. Just feed those things some 18% and let them run. Keep them sharp enough. They'll always be good bellied. They'll always be wide enough. Really good county fair options for sure. The 6'4" barrel might be able to stretch. Let's just do the black ones first. Next, we dump a pair of 8 litters. 66 is 8-1. That's the little male pig. I hope they can get you a good look at that dude. He is so neat fronted, so shapely about his back shape. I know he's not big here today, and maybe I got in a hurry and I should have waited to sell that one, but I was excited to show him off. He has a neat look, blade forward. the kind of shape that makes you know that last week going into a show, you don't have to worry too much. I'm excited just to see what he does come Pueblo and beyond. Again, these are the God's gifts that I wanted a bunch of and only got one litter. Back on my sow that at our house we call her Stout King of the Hill. The gilt there, broken belted gilt, she'd be 67, 8-9. Talk about a wide-eyed, big mugged one that still has a long neck. I love that combo. Instead of having to give up being stout mugged for being good looking, she kind of does it both. Super big arm, hairy legs, really shapely. Show her as a market gild at 250 and then make her a breeding gild at 290. I love that one. She's hit me hard for a long time. The boys get sick of me talking about her. God's gift, King of the Hill, litter 8. Next, we got a pair of Light Cross 7 litters. Tag 68 is 7-5. That'd be the kind of polka dotted gilt. And then tag 69 is the red belt 7-1. He's a crypt, and he's a little heavy-eared, but when he gets his head up, you really got to appreciate his rib cage, his hair he is, just how shapely he's going to be. Big arm, really big-legged. The gilt looks like she hasn't eaten since we got up here. I apologize for that. One that's still good-looking. I think she's going to be dense when it's said and done. I have a lot of faith in there, Mama. Major League Little Bro, 7 litters. I don't know if we got a good look at those two. Come find them in their pen and we'll see if we can get you maybe a better view. If you're at home, give me a shout and we can kind of pick those two apart. Next, we dump a pair that maybe don't fit together, but we've got tag 73, who is 7-6, the red gilt there. Love that one's look, skull, just how hairy she is. Similar to a lot of those 7s. Landon's working on the belted pig. This would be a FAFO. Back on the $20,000 sow from the source. That sow's put multiple barrows in the cell at Houston. Had gilts make sell at OIE. This litter was not for the faint of heart. Those things come with a ton of just shape and width. Their chest is awesome. Love the skull on those things. This guy's got a head twitch. You can see that out there. There's part of me that gets really excited to try one of those. You know you're not going to get in a hurry. You know that you got to just have time to get there. But the shape and width and kind of things that you just know you got in your pocket if you start with one like that are exciting for a big show. He's big enough. I think he makes any show here in Colorado, but he's got enough shape and cage that we could feed that one for a long time. Don't miss him just because he's way down here in the sale. Crazy chest, huge skull, lots of shape. That'd be 1-3, tag 74. Next we have tag 80, 4-5, the black gilt, and tag 81, 4-2, the blue barrel. These are hat tricks, ladies man again. Love just their fundamentals. Muscle, body, they're gonna grow when you ask them to. I think that this black gilt is pretty sharp about just her look, her back shape. The blue barrel comes at you with a super wide square chest, neat neck, short enough backed. I think those are really, really basic hogs that can get along if we just do our job with the feed bucket there. I don't think they're complex to feed. The way they grow, that can be an advantage for sure. So again, hat trick, ladies man. We're going to dump a trio of 3 litters. 84 would be the male pig out here. I love this pig, blade back. In terms of one that is wide-chested, good-bellied, balance is right, he does that. What I want to change on him is he gets a little slender-faced and a little big-eared for me. But if you're okay there, watch him from the side, and I think you can handle him. It's when you're looking straight down at his face that I really notice it. But still with that comes a really good looking one that hopefully grows into those ears just a little bit. But I love that guy, like I said, from his ears back. These are all mates to my leadoff. Let's see, the one Landon has, 3-5, tag 85. Green, green, green. She needs flesh, but she's got an elite look. Hard shape. We just got to give her feed. She just got a flesh, and she looks way, way better. Let's see. Cadence is driving kind of the crazy belted one, tag 86, 3-7. Again, these are hat trick JoJo's. They're cut from the same cloth. Good looking, good shape. We just got to get them chubby. Okay, last pin for Charles Showpig's Allied Genetics. We got a trio of 6 litters. Smokin' Joe First Alert. Tag 92 would be the solid black gilt 6-7. Landon reminds me often not to hate on her just because she's black. He really likes her from the side, the way she balances up. 6-3 would be the male pig. Short-backed, good-bellied. Let's see. And then the one that, when you get this broken belt gilt's head in the air, things kind of come together. Her proportions are good for being long-fronted, short-back, still got plenty of length of hip. We'll see if we can get a good shot of her here. But, again, Smokin' Joe's on the Mama of Sale Qualifier at Pueblo this year. Reserve Grand at our fair a couple years ago. I think these pigs have some flexibility in terms of if you want them to make a into July, early August fair, or if you want to sit on them a little. I think they kind of let you do both of those things. I'm good. I know that was a lot of talk from the three of us tonight, but again, I sure appreciate you being here, and I'm excited to spend the evening with you and see you tomorrow. We're going to do another preview at 11. I'm guessing we'll be instructed to speed things along just a little. Jess is nodding here like that's a definite. Somewhere around noon, we get the treat of enjoying lunch provided by Jordan and Salt. I'm excited for that. Sales at 2, guys. We will try to make that as easy as we can on you. Obviously, if you're here, that'll be easy. We're going to do some door prizes right before it. If you're not here, we'll be sharing links, if we already haven't, to get a bidder's number on Sale Ring Live and bid on your phone. So that should be convenient for everybody. Like I said, quicker preview at 11. If you need pigs delivered because you're an online buyer or because you drove the caddy instead of the pickup, don't be shy. Come visit with us. We'll find a way to get them to where they need to be. This time of year, there are pigs going all over the place. Appreciate your time. Please come find us with questions. I mean that. Have a good evening.